Okay, so I want you to think about the last time you stood in line at a coffee shop and handed over $6 for a latte. Maybe you did it this morning. Maybe you do it every single morning without even thinking about it. Now I want you to think about what would happen if that $6, instead of going into a paper cup, went into an investment account every single day for the next 10 years. Because I ran those numbers, and what I found genuinely shocked me. We are talking about a transformation so significant that most people refuse to believe it until they see the math laid out right in front of them. And that is exactly what we are going to do today. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, I cover personal finance strategies that are actually realistic for regular people living regular lives. Not the retire at 25 and move to a beach house nonsense, but the real practical stuff that moves the needle without making you miserable. Today, we are diving into what I am calling the Coffee Money Challenge, and by the end of this video, you are going to have a completely different relationship with the small daily purchases that are quietly sabotaging your financial future. I am not going to tell you to stop having fun or eliminate every joy from your life. What I am going to show you is something far more powerful than that. Here is the core idea. Small habitual spending has an invisible twin, and that twin is called opportunity cost. Every dollar you spend habitually is not just gone, it represents what that dollar could have become if you had deployed it differently. Most people understand this concept vaguely, but they do not feel it viscerally. They do not sit with it. And the reason is that a $6 coffee is concrete and immediate, while a $60,000 investment portfolio is abstract and distant. Our brains are hardwired to prefer the concrete present over the abstract future, which is a cognitive quirk that the entire retail and food service industry has built its business model around. Understanding that you are being played by your own psychology is the first step toward doing something about it. Let me give you the actual numbers before we go any further, because I want you feeling something before we move on. If you spend $6 a day on coffee, that is roughly $180 a month, or $2,160 a year. Now let us say you invested that $2,160 annually into a broad market index fund that returned an average of 8% per year, which is a conservative historical estimate for a diversified stock portfolio. After 10 years, you would have accumulated just over $31,000. After 20 years, you are looking at approximately $96,000. After 30 years, that daily coffee habit, fully redirected, becomes roughly $240,000 from coffee. Let that number sit in your chest for a second. Now here is where I want to challenge the conventional narrative, because I actually do not think you should stop buying coffee. Hear me out. The point of the Coffee Money Challenge is not deprivation. Deprivation leads to resentment, and resentment leads to abandonment. What we are actually doing is identifying the spending habits that you have on autopilot, habits you participate in without conscious choice, and making intentional decisions about which ones deserve your money and which ones do not. The coffee you genuinely love and look forward to? Keep it. The coffee you mindlessly grab because it is there and it fills time? That is the one we are replacing. This distinction is everything. Financial discipline that is built on restriction always fails eventually. Financial discipline built on intentionality has a completely different success rate because it respects your humanity while still demanding your attention. So before we get into the specific habit swaps that can fund your investments, I want you to do one thing right now if you have your phone nearby. Open your banking app and look at your last 30 days of transactions. Just scroll through them. Do not analyze, just observe. Notice the pattern. You are going to see clusters, repeated charges, the same vendors showing up over and over. Those clusters are where your coffee money is hiding. Let us talk about the actual swaps now. And I want to go beyond just coffee, because frankly, the coffee example, while powerful mathematically, is also a little bit cliché at this point. The Coffee Money Challenge is a framework, not a prescription. Here are the habit swap categories that tend to generate the most redirectable cash for most people. The first category is subscription creep. Studies have shown that people consistently underestimate how many subscription services they are actively paying for. We are talking streaming platforms, gym memberships, app subscriptions, cloud storage plans, meal kit boxes that you forgot to cancel. Pull up that banking history you just opened and count every recurring charge you see. Even canceling just 2 or 3 of those and redirecting the money can add $50 to $100 per month to your investment contributions. The second category is what I call proximity spending. This is the stuff you buy not because you planned to, but because it was there. The candy bar at the checkout. Proximity spending is deeply tied to environment and emotional state. Shop with a list. Avoid stores when you are hungry, tired, or stressed. The third category is what I call the social default. This is spending that happens because it is the social script, not because you genuinely want to participate. You go to happy hour because it is what the group does. You contribute to every office collection. The social default is one of the trickiest areas to navigate because it involves real relationships and real social dynamics. The fourth category is upgrade compulsion. This is the quarterly phone upgrade even though your current one works fine. This is the newer laptop when the old one handles everything you need. Learning to distinguish genuine utility improvements from manufactured desire is a skill that will save you thousands of dollars over time. Now I want to address the elephant in the room, because I know some of you watching this are thinking, yeah, but I have real financial problems, not just too many lattes. Maybe you are dealing with significant debt. Maybe your income barely covers your fixed expenses. Maybe you are one unexpected expense away from real trouble. If that is your situation, I see you. And the Coffee Money Challenge still applies to you, but it applies slightly differently. For you, the first investment is not in a brokerage account. It is in your emergency fund. Even redirecting $20 or $30 a week toward a buffer account changes your psychological relationship with money by giving you something that looks and feels like safety. Once that buffer exists, the anxiety around every financial decision decreases. Here is the payoff moment I want to give you before we wrap up. 1 year from today, if you start the Coffee Money Challenge this week, you will have made somewhere between 200 and 400 small intentional decisions about your spending. Not rich necessarily, not retired early necessarily, but genuinely more free than you are right now. Financial freedom is not an amount in a bank account. The Coffee Money Challenge is not about the money as an endpoint. It is about building the habit of intentionality around money. So here is your actual challenge for this week. I want you to identify 3 specific habitual spends in your life that you would not particularly miss if they disappeared. Calculate the monthly cost of those 3 things combined. Then come back to this channel and tell me in the comments what your 3 swaps were. Because I read every comment and I genuinely want to know. And your specific situation might be exactly what someone else needed to hear to get started. If you want to go deeper on this, I have a video about building an automatic investment system that pairs perfectly with what we covered today, and you will find it linked at the end of this video. Subscribe if you are not already here, because every week I am putting out content designed to move your financial life forward without making you feel like you are grinding through punishment. The best financial strategy is the one you can actually maintain, and that is what we build together here. I will see you in the next one.